Welcome to Mag TCG, this is Mag Tuck, and today let's continue with our must-have before set 4. And today we have the rare edition. So I already posted a legendary edition, so you can see here in the card or down in the description. So let's start here, and first things first, let's start with this villain card that is Galactic Ambition. I already posted a video about a new comp that we can do in the next set, so I don't need much to explain. Is now we have the cost 1 events that prevents the next damage that you would take, so you can play Galactic Ambition without taking damage. So Galactic Ambition, maybe we can see a higher price in the next month or next set, so this is it. So now let's go to the most important cards of Vigilance cards, and here we have the Survival's Gauntlet that is awesome in the next set, because Survival's Gauntlet have this when played and on attack, you may attach an upgrade on a unit to another eligible unit controlled by the same player. So yeah, what you can do here, you can move pilots, okay? And the pilots you need to attach and a unit that don't have a pilot, but this is just when you play the pilot. So if you have 2 units with pilots, you can play Survival's Gauntlet and move this pilot to the other unit that already have pilots, because you attach an upgrade. So yeah, you can do this. The people from FFG who create the cards, they said that you can do this. So yeah, this is insane, right? So yeah, and not just this, you can just like your opponent have piloting, and you can he can attack with this one, so I will play this, move this pilot to another unit that is exhausted, something like that, so he can't attack for more this turn, right? So this card is really good. We have here the Evidence of the Crime, that is insane too, that you can take control of cards like pilots and a lot of upgrades, right? These cards can be really good in the next meta, and we will probably see a higher price. So now let's go with well, you need to deal with the space now, and maybe you can't, maybe you don't have that unit, so Equalize can maybe help you this. Maybe you're already playing in ground, and maybe your opponent have more units than you, and you're playing blue, of course. Then you can give -2/-2 to 2 units. This is awesome. And we have I have the higher ground. This is a card that we don't see a lot in set 3, but I really think that this card can be really good in the next meta, because maybe you're playing with in the ground side and your opponent have full space. You can just play a 1 Sentinel, and with one have the high ground, then he can't do nothing this turn, like -4 to all the units. He's probably not going to defeat the Sentinel, so this can be really good. And I really think -4 can be really good in the next meta, not just but for this, like for Sentinel. I really like this card. Is this? So now we have Del Mico, and why I think Del Mico can be good, because we can see now that a lot of decks in the Carabas is using events, and we have more ramp decks too. And Del Mico, if you have them to see, you can play turn 2 before your opponent can play resupply, which is awesome. And against aggro decks can be good too, because maybe you against Luke and he's playing in full space, you can play this Del Mico. You not stopping like Heroic Sacrifice on another events, but you break the math, right? Sometimes he has 6 resources, he wants to spend 5 in units and in 1 with Heroic Sacrifice or another events, and now he can't because he needs to pay 1 more. And this card have Restore 1, so is good because give you sustain. So if he plays full space, maybe he can't deal with this Del Mico, so maybe he stay here to restore maybe 4 HP of the base, 3, something like this, right? So now let's talk about the space units, because everyone knows that the next set is focused in space. So let's talk about space units that we already have. And we have the Malevolence, that is awesome. You have Exploit 4, so you can play with token decks to exploit and play earlier in the game. It is a 7/7 with Restore 2, which is awesome. And the when played is really great. And you can use this when played maybe. You have 6 resources, your opponent 2, he can maybe deploy his leader as a pilot in something, so he probably have a big unit like a Pepper Spray with Boba Fett, like it's like 9 attack. You can play Malevolence, maybe using Exploit, then you give -4 to this unit, and it can't attack for this phase, so this is insane, right? So you just stop 90 damage going to your face this turn, right? This looks really good. We have here First Light. First Light is really good because you can play as a grid, and think First Light with pilots. You can put more damage in First Light to gain more attack with grid, so looks really good. And you maybe can play with a lot of big space units now that we have a lot. and to triggers the grid and something like that. And of course, Redemption, that is a card from set 1 that is awesome. You can heal a lot. Is a big sentinel for space. Maybe if you play this and your opponent don't have removals, the Redemption will be there. You don't even need to heal if you want. Just a 6/9 body sentinel in space is awesome, right? So now let's go to Aggression 1. We have here, of course, Red 3. The main focus of the next set is space. Red 3 gives rate 1 to all your hero units. This is really, really good, right? And we have here Bomb Run, that is a remove that you can deal better with the space because you do 3 damage to each unit in their arena. And most of the spaceships have 3 life or something like that, sometimes 4. But if you playing with red, you can play cards that put damage to you, defeated the cards with Bomb Run, right? And we have Count Dooku to removal 2, that is awesome because like if you play like a cost attack for 3 in turn 1 and in turn 2, you can deploy you can exploit Count Dooku in turn 3, defeating these 2 units, and then maybe you can defeat 2 units in space or something like this. Looks really, really good, and now you have a 6/6 overwhelm in the ground, right? And like I said before, the main focus now is in the space, so if you put a big unit in the ground against the aggro deck, maybe he can't deal with this, right? So this is awesome. We have here Heroic Resolve, and why this can be that good? Because of course it's just a cost 1 to give you +1/+1, and as we can see, we have a lot of pilots now, and a lot of units have more life, more attack, and you can't put another pilot, like you can't with some units or with R2 pilots, but you can put upgrades too, and you can create a huge unit that can survive to a lot of damage because have more life, and this Heroic Resolve gives +1. Then in the right time, you can use the action to give to +4 and attack, so in Overwhelm, of course, and this is awesome, right? Maybe you can use this to pass through a Bright Hope or something like that. And now we have the Chaos of War. That is good because we're seeing a lot of new double red cards in the next set, so maybe we can see a better, maybe Kylo Ren, I don't know, maybe the new Captain Phasma, but double aggression decks in the next meta, and the Chaos of War is a card that is really good to deal damage in your opponent. It is awesome. And now let's talk about more cards that you can deal damage, like Heroic Sacrifice. It is a cost 1, deal +2 damage. When the unit deals combat damage, defeated. But if you play with the, I think it's Kazuda, I don't remember the name, but the leader that you can triggers to you take out all of the abilities of your unit and can't gain abilities, so the unit don't gain this on attack. So this is awesome, right? And for a Cause of Believing, of course, because I think for a Cause of Believing is a card that only playing Sabine since the set 1, and now we see more like in Luke and Poe Dameron, so maybe the For a Cause of Believing can have a higher price in the next meta. So now let's go to the command version. We have here Arctans. Probably you already saw a lot of matches with Piets that you can play this like for 6 because you have Piets deployed, right? And this card is insane. It's a captive ship that you can play in Piets, have a ambush, and you, like I said before, the main focus here is the space. Now you have a 7/8 ambush that when defeats something you ramp. This card is awesome. And of course we have the Marauder 2, that is a cost 5 for 5. So probably this is going to defeat something and be alive to defeat something else in the next turn. Because have the ambush, and maybe you can play you can trigger the one played to ramp, but most of the times you're just using 2 ambush to defeat something. Now we have the Wedge Untitled. I don't even need to explain this, right? It is a 5/5/5. Each friendly vehicle unit gets +1/+1 and against ambush. Every vehicle unit that you play will attack for more, have more life, and have ambush, right? This card is really good. We have here Admiral Yularen. There's a cost 3, 2, 5. It looks like the same thing as Delmico, because you can play in the ground and maybe your opponent won't deal with this. And now every other friendly hero unit gains more 1 life, which is awesome. And this card have restore 1, so you can restore for a lot maybe. We have Kobe Denf. I really like this card because, like, now you need to deal with the space, but sometimes you can play something in the ground that maybe you're against a deck that is full space. You can play like a 3-2 in the ground and attack for a lot with this unit, a lot, and like deal 9-12 damage to your opponent, do something. But if he do something with this unit, you can search for something in your deck that costs you and play maybe a new space unit or something like that. You can pivot the game, right? Maybe you started in the ground, but your opponent in the space, he defeat this with Tarkin Tower, I don't know, with something like that, then raid. Then you can, okay, now I'll play something in space, now I can play full space now or something like this. We have traitors, of course, because we can stole a unit from with a lot of pilots, maybe Millennium Falcon with 3 pilots, because we can play R2 and +2. So yeah, you can use traitors to control this, and this card probably we're going to see a lot in a lot of different decks and in the main deck, because we saw a lot of traitors in the side deck, but I think we're going to see more and more in the main deck. E-Wing is really good, and it's the same thing as I said about Vader in the legendary video, because for each set that we have, for because we play with E-Wing for 3 sets. Now we're going to play with 4 sets, so we have more cards that we can put in our deck, more better cards that we can play with. So every time these cards gets better, because you have more new cards and better cards to play with your deck that you can fight with E-Wing and something like that. So this card is really good, and is in like Cobb-Vanth, you can pivot the game. Maybe you're full space now, you can use this to go full ground, or you can, because you can play the pilots as a ground unit. Or you can, okay, I'm full ground, I'll go to full space now. You can pivot the game, and this card can be really good. And of course, here with the Cunning now, we have the discard combo here. Because why? We have qi'ra, Body Rook, Spark of Rebellion. Because in the next set, we will have more discard cards like Ahsoka, that is a cost 4, 3/5. You can play. Discard, your opponent discards a card, he choose. If he discards a unit, you can exhaust a unit, which is awesome, because most of the decks have more like 80%, 90% of the deck is units, so the chance that he will discard something that you can exhaust is really higher, right? So of course these cards can be a higher price, because we can see in more decks now, like Mandalorian Yellow, not just the Han Yellow, right? So yes. And of course, the space unit, Fett for spray, we can see more now, because we have the jungle. Boba Fett, the first Boba Fett got banned, but we saw a lot of this Fett for spray in the jungle, Tarkin Tower. But now we have the new Boba Fett, so we have 2 decks to play with Fett for spray. So maybe we can see the price increase a little bit. And we have triple dark raid. This card might increase a lot, maybe, because the main focus now is space, and triple dark raid, you find vehicle unit. You can play, if you're playing villain with yellow, you must play triple dark raid. I don't know why you would not. Maybe if you don't play with vehicle, but I don't know why you would do this, right? Because vehicle units and yellow units like Fett for spray is really good. And if you're playing with red, you can play with Ruthless Raider, the New Devastator, and kind of stuff. Like, this card is awesome, and I think it will increase the price. And now we have this Slime Murder, that costs 3 ground unit, 3/3. Looks okay, but they won't play take control of an enemy token unit and read it at the start of the group phase. That token unit's owner takes control of it. So yeah, now we've seen like Darth Vader decks, Akbar decks, so we can see more token decks. They can put a pilot in token, something like that, and you can take control of this token to use to attack another opponent unit, defeat the both, so it can be really good, right? Because it's just a cost 3, then you can take control and do this. Looks good. And this is it, guys. This is every rare that I think that can higher the price in the next meta. And cards, for my opinion, that maybe can be better in the next meta. So what do you guys think about it? Say here in the comments. See you in the next video.